Final Fantasy II Labyrinth of Nightmares by Kenji Tarada. Translated by Shannon Tracy. Read by Greg Troyan. This is a non-profit fan translation of an out-of-print novel released exclusively in Japan. While the novel may be out of print, we encourage you to please purchase a copy of the video game Final Fantasy II, upon which the novel is based. Please support the official release. Follow the translation on ff2-book.tumblr.com. That's ffii-book.tumblr.com. Part 1. Prelude to a Nightmare. Chapter 5. Looking at the scattered remains of Perry's eviscerated corpse, Maria railed against Guy. The lovely eyes that had glazed upon her with adoration all throughout her childhood had had the life extinguished from them. "What are you trying to say?" she wailed. "That my brother did this?" Maria had been attending the feast when Guy had come flying up to her with urgent news. He had pulled her away before she could even change out of her festival clothes. "This wound," Guy said, his heavy mouth open. "Leon's knife." "Guy!" Maria couldn't believe the accusation put forth by Guy, that her brother had been responsible for this massacre. Guy had to be lying to her. There was no other explanation that she was prepared to accept. "Maria, this. Virgin Valley." Huh? What Guy was trying to point out that the location of Perry's corpse in Virgin Valley was portentous of a bad omen. Leon had breached the taboo as taught by the legendary song, "Virgins of Mysidia, just one promise. Where is love born, so is hatred. Within a black valley, you will still yourself. Soon, the darkness will close in. Take care. Do not look the other way in love." Leon had met the strange woman on the path along the Virgin Valley, and had looked upon their face. The unspoken rule had been broken, and he had invited catastrophe upon himself. Guy spoke, and Maria's body froze. "Furion, danger." "Why?" The drums beat at an overwhelming volume, which Maria now found slightly unpleasant. The tenets laid out in the song had been violated, and an unspeakable misfortune had begun to drift about the village. Deep in her heart, Maria had already started to believe it. Guy had told Maria that Elma, same as Leon, had also met the stranger on the path. Maria's heart pounded in her chest in fear and anxiety. She alone was responsible for pushing Furion to accept the gesture that had been presented by Elma. She had still been at the feast, and all the men who had been presented with axes had rolled out en masse towards the summit of the Mage's Mountain. Furion had stayed behind, absent-mindedly fiddling with the stone axe that Maria had given to him in Elma's stead. "Aren't you going, Furion?" Maria teased Furion, smiling as she watched him brood. "I'm thinking," Furion replied with reflective eyes. "Think about what?" "Like who gave me this axe." "You idiot!" Maria chastised him. "If you go, you'll find out." "Yeah, I get that," Furion answered, looking down at the axe, not quite able to tear his eyes away from it. The torchlight framed Furion's face and gave his nose a soft, vermilion glow, and Maria was struck by the thought that Furion was an attractive man. She longed to reach out and touch him, but he was a forbidden fruit. She could look, but never touch. "So what?" Furion murmured. "This is some trick of the mages?" "What?" "Well, most of the guys headed toward that mountain to get the girl that's waiting for them. Surely the mages cast a spell of some kind while they're climbing the mountain?" "That scares you?" No, I'm not scared," Furion scoffed, turning slightly to look at Maria, falling easily into their usual repartee. "I just don't want to be defeated by illusions." "This is just like you," Maria commented. "Huh? Remember when Poison Fang bit you?" "Oh, yeah," Furion smiled sheepishly. Poison Fang was the name given to the mysterious snake that slithered on the ground and lived in the nest inside of a tree. It was considered deadly, and if you were bit, the snake's venom would affect the entire body's nervous system in a very short period of time. Shortly after Furion had moved into Maria's home, he had been bitten by Poison Fang. Maria's father had immediately tried to treat the bite with leaves from an anesthetic tree, but Furion hated the leaves. He had insisted on using a knife to treat it instead. "At that time Maria said, looking at Furion impishly. "I told your dad I didn't need the leaves. I just wanted the poison and the pain to go away." Furion gave a wry laugh. "Heh, you haven't changed." "Oh, is that so? Maybe I have." "Really, Furion, if you don't want to lose to an illusion, then don't," Maria pointed out. "What do you mean?" "Besides, you wouldn't have a stone axe just because," she said. Determined, Furion stood up, and at that moment, Maria regretted buoying his self-esteem. She liked Elma, but now she was confused at herself for feeling hostility toward her childhood friend. "No way! No, me and Furion? No way!" Maria's ability to concentrate, usually finely honed, was completely discombobulated at the newly awakened feelings she was discovering for Furion. As she wrestled with these emotions, Furion had already taken off to the village outskirts and had begun to ascend the mage's designated animal path. As Maria watched him go, she struggled with her upbringing and the sudden influx of cruel thoughts in her mind. "It's like Furion said. He'll fall under the mage's spell, and he'll fall in love with Elma." Or so she thought. Maria was someone who liked to think logically, and she felt a little annoyed at the troublesome feelings that went beyond her understanding. "Maria, Furion, danger," Guy said again, pulling Maria back into the imminent situation of reality. "Yes, I know." Maria found she was more concerned with Furion's near future than with searching for her brother Leon. "No, I was just thinking about that. If Elma was acting strangely like my brother..." Neither Maria or Guy knew, at the time, Leon was cutting down a group of men and women with a sword at the border of Mysidia. Her older brother Leon was no longer a man who valued harmony among people. Anything other than malice had disappeared from his eyes. End Chapter 5.